Hey, what's up? Neal Walter here. Got a free lesson for you. But you could be getting 2 free lessons every week if you head to guitartricks.com/channel. Sign up for a newsletter and I'll send you 2, because I like to send you stuff. Our lesson of the week is on using open strings within lead or to create riffs and such. But first off, tip of the week is on string muting. If you're playing this fun little chord, power chord on the D string or anything similar to this, I want to show you a little trick. You can mute the E and A strings. This is how I do it. Just by resting the middle finger. The tip of the middle finger just touches those 2 strings and doesn't touch anything below it. So those ring out. That way you can... Otherwise it sounds like this. Not usually the desired effect. That's the muting tip of the week. On to our lesson that's on using open strings. Why should I use open strings? Why not? First example of how you can use open strings is, well, you got to think about where they'll fit in. So you've got all those notes to choose from, which are the same as all those notes, right? Just an octave difference. So any scale that uses a note at the 12th fret, you could easily substitute an open string. Best example of this, kind of obvious, hopefully, is the E minor or E pentatonic scale, because they both share notes on each string of the 12th fret. So you got this. Everyone's got a note at the 12th fret. Also, the pattern right behind it also has a note shared on the 12th fret. So here's an example, something I just came up with, mashing those 2 scales together, just kind of thinking in terms of patterns, and just doing some alternate picking. I came up with this. All I'm doing is using the open E, and then just striking those notes within the scale. So it's something, conceptually, it's really easy. So that would be like a sequence. Another way you could use this is lower on the strings in another position of the E minor scale I'm going to use now. So thinking of this scale pattern and this one next to it, I'm going to use the E and A strings, and I know that the E string is in the E minor scale, so I'm just going to do something like this. And all I'm doing is, it's just kind of random stuff, but it ends up sounding cool. I'm just picking the open E string, going up 3 notes from that scale, open E again, and then doing the same thing on the B string, open, 3 notes out of the scale. It's got this real kind of neoclassical, awesome sound to it. So that's just a couple. I want to give you some concepts of how you can use open strings within what you're already doing. And here's another one, just randomly. So let's say you're riffing. I'm in E again because it works really well, and so I do something like, or something like. So what I did is I slid up within the scale, pulled off to an open G. Could do any crazy thing, but just throwing in those open strings, and then up at the 12th position. So you get this kind of hopping around thing going on that sounds really cool, because the notes are jumping way out in the left field, but they also fit into the key. Another way you can use these ideas is to create cool riffs. That thing I just showed you with the 2 scale patterns up here, you could do something like this. Cool, huh? So that's just using open strings and bouncing around 2 scale positions in the E minor scale. So I think it's really cool. It's about, you know, not just learning scales and notes, but just thinking of the guitar more broadly and just using these broad ideas and just kind of throwing them in the stew to add some extra flavor and some cool tricks and stuff that really captures the listener's ear. That's it for this week. Thanks for tuning on in. Catch me in the forum at guitartricks.com because I want to know what you want to know. So come on over and let me know. See you in a week. Later.